How much do you really know about the history of oil? Plenty Magazine invites you to take a trip back in time as we examine the history of oil propaganda. This newsreel is from 1960, produced by the American Petroleum Institute. Here's an example of a typical news story.
The trouble started down in Louisiana on the Gulf of Mexico, where the Louisiana oyster fishermen claimed that oil production was killing off the local oyster population. The oil companies didn't agree, but they decided to look into the matter. In the research laboratory, every type of condition is created for the oyster patients. A blanket of crude oil is poured directly on the water. Water is jetted through oil for 6 months. The test oysters showed no ill effects from oil, even under conditions which far exceeded those ever present during oil production. As a matter of fact, the test oysters were so happy, they brought forth new generations to share their lot. They never had it so good.
And how about this one? From the director of the children's television program, The Jetsons, and featuring the work of Disney animators, Destination Earth tells the story of an intrepid explorer from Mars and his anthropological study of nearby planet Earth.
I found that these vehicles gather at places called service stations, where they are fed, lubricated, and given the finest care. The source of their nourishment was something called petroleum. Yet America's proved reserves, the oil supplies still underground, have kept increasing steadily. Crude oil goes in, and great Jupiter, the things that come out. Gasoline, for example, the most efficient mobile power source on Earth. The big secret is, of course, oil, which has brought a better life to all the people in the USA.
But oil companies didn't always produce films about oil. Sometimes they tackled the tough environmental issues, like littering. This anti-littering film from 1963 was produced by the Richfield Oil Corporation and narrated by Ronald Reagan.
Conservation-minded oil companies use scientific spacing and advanced recovery methods in the drilling of wells, thus to ensure the wisest use of our petroleum reserves. When it comes to the conservation of most natural resources, we are a responsible people. The art of modern packaging has helped to make our outings even more enjoyable. Almost anything we need is conveniently available. But it is these wonderful packages, cans, bottles, and paper containers thoughtlessly discarded, which we carelessly convert to litter across the face of our country.
Yes, energy industry propaganda is as old as the energy industry itself. These days, energy companies outsource their creative work to professional think tanks. One company, ExxonMobil, has recently come under fire for donating over $2 million to the libertarian group Competitive Enterprise Institute. You might know their work.
Carbon dioxide. They call it pollution. We call it life.
Oddly, Republican Senator Olympia Snowe and Democratic Senator Jay Rockefeller have written an open letter to ExxonMobil's CEO demanding that Exxon stop donating to groups like CEI. Will Exxon stop? Well, we guess you'll have to ask the oysters in Louisiana about that.